Right now, this Glarry guitar costs $109. These Lucky jeans cost more than that. These Nike shoes cost more than that. Hell, you can run up a bar tab real easy that's more than that. Even a half a zip of decent ganj is more than that. How did they do it? Did they even really do it? We're going to find out together today, right here on GearGasms. Hi everybody, welcome to GearGasms. I'm your host, Alan Barnes. Today on the channel, I am featuring for the very first time a Glarry GTL guitar. I've never gotten anybody to send me one on this channel, but Glarry sent me this absolutely for free. So you know what that means? It's a sponsored video, peeps. This is the Glarry GTL 100. I will put all the links in the descriptions. Of course, you know I will. We're going to go all through the specs of this Glarry. We're going to put it on the bench. We're going to look at it. We're going to play it. But first, if you're new to the channel, I'd like to ask you to like and subscribe. This channel, it's kind of like Sporty Spice. Raise your hands out there if you ever done your business a Sporty Spice.
That was freaky.
Ladies with mullets, I'm not talking to you.
Come on!
Celebrate mediocrity. So we're going to unbox it. We're going to put it through all its paces. But first, I'm going to live a dream. We're going to get a friend of mine who does a Trog tribute. His name is Caveman. That's what he performs under. That's his stage name. But I myself have always wanted to be Phil McKnight. I long to be Phil McKnight. Hey Phil, I want to be you. This came out of the old lady's dresser, so I'm sure it's laced with all kinds of Mrs. GearGasms dermis and little micro bits of scab, perhaps, maybe some cilia, some hair. Not really sure what's going on in this thing, but it does appear to be intact. Now, one of the things that I've noticed right out of the box, before I even played it, no fret sprout. So I'm gonna do this Phil thing, and I'm gonna run it all up and down. Oh, I know why he does this now. It's erotic as fuck.
Oh, yeah.
Now I ain't got my glasses on, and I'm sure you can't see this even in 1080p. I don't see any, there's no scratches here, nothing. I'm just going to keep this on my hand because I like it. This baby has a basswood body. It is semi-hollow. It's got the F-hole. It is sunburst, as you can see. A really nice 3-ply perloid pickguard there. As you can see, this glorious thing spinning round and round. 3-way switch. Standard Tele style bridge. 3 saddles. They are not brass, but they do have a slot in them, which I kind of like, a string slot. Standard Tele pickup type configuration. A little bit of a chunky C-shaped neck. It's not as fat as my American original Strat. The tuners, I've been just sort of dinking around with it. They have stayed in tune. They don't feel loose. Plastic nut, 2-piece maple neck. I'd say medium jumbo frets, 12-inch radius. Pickups are just standard single coil. They don't list any specs there. I did look in the F-holes. There is a little something, you know, little bits and bits of wood hanging down that wasn't quite finished right. But to be fair, in my Epiphone 339, it's the same thing, and that cost $500. The weight is just a little over 6 pounds. Even Phil McKnight himself would approve. We're going to go back in time, unbox this thing. My friend Caveman is going to put it on the bench and see what's what, and then we're going to plug it in and have some fun. Believe it or not, this is how it came to me, straight off the UPS truck. This, in case you don't know if you've never ordered a guitar, this is an internal box, shipping box. You put this box ordinarily in another box. Me and Tate, remember how that goes? Got skizzers this time. Comes with, as you've seen before, super thin gig bag. That's all right, no worries. And honestly, this whole process from Glarry to me just sort of felt like, they feel to me like they just feel like, oh, okay, here's a guitar. We know what you're gonna do with it. We know you're gonna say how awful it is, blah, 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 trying to get views on YouTube, but that's not how I'm gonna do this. Oh, phone shit. I hate you. Welcome to your daily dose of guitar information. The first thing old Trogley noticed, the nut is not cut correctly. I'll show you on the old snark. The E is pretty much in tune, but when you play the F, look how far over that is. And it's pretty much that way all up the neck. we're going to review some of the tools that we'll use to get this nut. I do have one nut file from Music Nomad. It's not StewMac, but it'll have to do. I have 2 steak knives from the Wolfgang Puck collection, if you can believe that. I have a couple other files here that I may or may not use. And this tool is not, it's not a guitar tool. It's a dab shovel. Old Trog has a tough day. Sometimes this really helps me make my videos and work on guitars. So what I'm going to do is loosen the strings, try to cut each nut slot down a little deeper, check the tuning, and come back. All right, my boy Caveman, he fixed a nut for me. I put new strings on it. I have dinked around on this unplugged, but I have not yet heard it through an amp. I do have it plugged into the Blues Junior right behind me. You probably can't see it. SM57 on the speaker, nothing in between me and this guitar but a cable. Starting off on the bridge, pick up the old E chord. First impression, a little bright. The volume controls feel really smooth. They put up quite a bit of resistance. I like that. I don't like the real, like the low friction. I want it to fight me a little bit. Middle position. Way less bright. Wow, that is such a difference. It's almost like it's not there. Try something. Oh, what have you done to me? Glarry, have you miswired? One more try. Tap, tap. Can you hear it? Oh, so we don't have a middle position. Oh, Glarry, come on, guys. Everything else is so nice about this guitar. We're just going to move on from the beginning. I gotta fix this. It's just who I am. I'm gonna have to open it up and I gotta get in there and fix it so I can have that middle position. So we'll come back and hopefully be more successful. Now when I first got this guitar, I thought about whether or not I was gonna open it up and do a gut shot. And honestly, I said I'm gonna treat this the way I would any of my own guitars I'm reviewing. I'm not gonna open up an Epiphone or Squire as long as the guitar functions and it plays good. I generally don't care, but obviously since we have a malfunction of the switch, I'm gonna pull it apart. Alrighty, we obviously have a problem with this switch. And wouldn't you know, it is different than any switch I've ever seen. That sucks such ass. Not ideal soldering conditions. Kids, don't try this at home. I am NASA certified in soldering. Can you believe that? All right, tap test. Tap, tap. Oh, it's still there. And listen how it's a little quieter. Yay, we have the middle position back. I got my boner back, boner back, boner back. Alan's baby size boner. Barbecue sauce. I got my musical boner back. Come on, dirty minds. So yeah, it turned out there was a solder joint that wasn't quite joined. That's no bueno. Give me that E again, Glarry.
Ooh, you suck!
Bridge position, some double stop stuff. Let's try that in the middle. So nice. That's got that middle Tele. Neck. Double stops, neck. Rolling the tone off. It actually sounds good. Let's try the middle position, some chord stuff. Yeah, I really like that middle position. It does the Tele thing right. I'm surprised, despite our rough start. All right, we'll do some ding-a-ling-a-dang on it. Yeah, D strings fighting me a little bit. But these are new strings, and obviously I took the tension completely off and then tuned them back up and didn't stretch them. It's hanging in there pretty good. Now, one of the reasons I picked the Blues Junior for this section is it is a lie detector test for guitar tone and pickups. It is the most unforgiving thing ever. Let's hear, I dialed a little bit of fist in it. You know, if you're just doing big, like Who type chords, it's okay. That's the sound of rock and roll we all know and love. But that middle position, let's give it this. You can hear that very springy Tele in between sound still, even through the grit. That's not, I don't love that. Let's hear it here. A little more treble. Let's give it a little more of a spike. Yeah, that's better. See, sometimes it just needs an amp adjustment. Yeah, that'll kind of, if you want that neck Tele blues thing. I must say these frets, just the surface of them, I like the size. They're kind of medium jumbo feeling. Not too big, not too small. The Goldilocks effect is in play here. I like it, I really do. I like the middle position anyway, but I'm not sure, you know, feel aside, if you just let me hear that, I would say it's a Tele. Oh, Want to hear that again? Can I hit that bad note twice in a row?
You suck!
What happened there? Oh, Lord. Did you hear that? Glarry no like to pump.
That's crazy!
Wonder why that happened. Maybe it's those fallen grommets. Let's try that again. A little bit of punk rock. Still fairly in tune. I've been playing it kind of hard. A little bit of blow off one last little bit of steam on the neck. I'm taking a break. I'm taking a break. Wah 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 wah. Wah wah wah. I'm taking a break. Okay, so let's say you're a potential Glarry guitar customer and you don't happen to have a fancy schmancy tube amp, but you got the Spark. Boom. Millennial Lead, that's the name of the patch. Untouched, straight out of the box. Bridge pickup. Now, of course, the Spark is a friendly amp to all guitar types. Obviously, it makes anything sound good, but a lot of times the cheaper guitars, you can hear them through tons and tons of effects and lots of gain even still. I'm not really hearing that with this. The pickups weren't microphonic at all. It sounds pretty good. Still hear complex chords through all that beef? Let's hear that neck pickup. Does it sing? A decent amount of sustain? I haven't done anything high up the neck, right? See how that feels. All right, so we did a little bit of that. You got to hear it. Let's hear it through the clean. You already heard the clean through the blues, Junior. Let's put some jam up. Here's the review part. Brace yourselves. So Glarry sent this to me for free. I'm not the kind of person that's just going to spit in somebody's face when they do that, but I'm an honest person as well. So there are some negatives. You saw some of them and some of them you didn't see, so let's just run right through them. First of all, the nut cut way too high. I could visually see that on the E string was just barely laying on the top of it. For a beginning player, that's super no bueno. For me, it's no big deal because I'm used to seeing it even on player strats. A lot of times I got to get my nut files out. I was able to get this thing in really great shape in terms of the intonation there. On the other end of the string, the other most important end of this piece is the bridge on the back. We got the grommets, right? I took the original factory strings off, and what happens, a couple of these grommets, they fall out. Again, that's not a big whoop. Guys, a little Q-tip and a little bit of glue before you put these grommets in. A little bit of glue, no big whoop. Able to fix that. More importantly, and worse though, on the high E string, the holes did not line up through the bridge. I could not, even though there was a string going all the way through it originally, I could not thread a string back in there to save my life. So I took one of my pointy metal file tools, and since it's basswood, I could see a little bit of the hole. I'm just gonna stick that in there and ream it around a little bit. The tip broke off. Now it's metal stuck inside metal. So now I gotta take the bridge off, and I'm cussing. I was able to get it out, but I did make some scratches here. And of course, you didn't see this in the B-roll. While I was jostling around on it, I put a ding in the bottom there. So now it's a relic, and I can charge extra for it if I decide to sell it. So that was super no bueno. The nut, of course. Let's see, what else do we have? Obviously, this switch, you know, it was just a simple solder problem. So that's pretty much it. Now that's a lot. You know, anytime you have to drill on your guitar, you have to cut things and you have to get in and do soldering things, that's not all that great. But let me tell you what is great about this guitar and where I think that they have really come along since all these other videos that I saw, these reviews. Again, this neck, the fretwork on the ends, almost no tool marks. They are perfectly angled. There is no sprout. It just feels so great. I checked the relief right out of the box. There was just a tiny little bit in the middle that was perfect. Intonation perfect all the way up the neck. Action a little bit high, but again, they always ship a little bit high. I can dial that down. I didn't feel any uneven frets. I didn't feel anything scratchy, bends. The tuners, you know, people were complaining about the tuners. You could feel the cheapness and the slip. These things are snug, buddy. I've been bending and twanging and plinking and all that, and it has stayed in tune as good as any of my other guitars, including Gibson, Fender, you name it. For now, this thing stays in tune. Super surprised. Now, another thing that people were crapping all over in the earlier Glarry reviews were the pickups. Microphonic, weak. Not in this one. Not at all. Not microphonic. I sang right into it. I said, "Hey, baby." Nothing came through the amp. Did they have a character that I love? I don't know. Obviously, you know, you'd benefit from throwing some pickups in here and it'd be super easy to do. But really, I don't think it's a have-to thing. I don't feel like this is something, oh, you have to change the pickups on that. Points for metal on the jack plate here. Not a lot of people do that price point. There are some imperfections finish-wise along the binding, little teeny places here and there where you can see a little bit of a different color. But that is super nitpicking. Again, this thing costs $109. That's not even gonna cover the house fee to Mama San for short time. 109 bucks. What did we learn today? We learned that Glarry is this close to making an amazing guitar for such a small amount of money. We also learned that details matter. You got to watch them boys at the factory. You know, you got to get them solder things. You got to get them hole things right. Now, come on, y'all got to get down in there and make sure you can focus. And finally, we learned that if you're gonna do a demo of a classic, beautiful, and timeless design such as this guitar, Slipknot's the go-to choice for the shirt to wear in the video.
It's Brittany, bitch.
As always, I thank you for your time. Please don't forget to hit the like and subscribe button. Tell some of your ratty-ass ghetto trailer park Section 8 government cheese-eating friends about GearGasms. You know they're gonna fit in here. And speaking of fit in, you think they can fit in one of these t-shirts? They go all the way up to 2XL, so help a brother out. Whatever you do in the next 7 days, don't tell CC DeVille about it, because he's busy doing voiceover work for the upcoming Anthony Fauci cartoon series.
Loser!
But play more Glarry Guitars. Watch less Trog and Phil McKnight on YouTube. And keep coming back here week after week for more GearGasms.